welcome Iranian girls. If you're new channel, be at the subscribe button and be sure to click that bell icon to I upload a new video and to follow us on Instagram. So guys, today we're back here at Universal Orlando Resort. Today we're here for a quick HHN and Fast and Furious construction update. As we actually did have a second IP announcement from HHN this Wednesday, I think it was, this Wednesday, which is pretty rare. But we got an HHN IP announcement on Wednesday, and much, as you guys can already see, much more supports and track has been installed for Fast Furious here, Hollywood Drift here in Orlando, not to be confused with the same one, same name over in Hollywood, which actually should be opening in the next few, I'll say in the next few days, or at least the next week or so. But yeah, as you guys can see, real quick, starting off with the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift construction update. The spike is yet to be completed. We were here last vlog, if you guys want to check that out, and compare the construction updates. We were here like about a week and a half ago, and the spike is still in the same step. It hasn't been completed, which is rare. I don't know why they haven't decided to complete the spike yet. But over here, we do have three supports that actually have been popped up and are pretty tall for what I was expecting in that area. But we'll get a better view for the Fast and Furious construction update at the end of the video. So stay tuned for that, because we'll stand like over there, and usually that spot you get a better view on construction update. But yeah, the support structure, if you're guessing, it's pretty massive. So it's nice to see that type of construction here at Universal. But yeah, we're gonna make our way into the park now and talk about HHN updates. A lot of more trusses actually have popped up in the Central Park Scare Zone and also the Hollywood Scare Zone. So a lot of construction update for time of year that we are right now. But yeah, we're gonna make our way. The heat is crazy, so wish us just good luck for this video, because the heat is already crazy. We've already hit the 100 Fahrenheit mark here in Florida, and it's almost end of June. Usually July, August is the hottest month. So we'll see how this year the heat is gonna be, which from what we can tell right now, it's probably gonna be horrible. But yeah, like I said, let's go into the park and we'll check out the HHN construction updates from inside the park. So making our way into Hollywood, we do have a lot of truss work that has appeared here for the Scare Zone, which I believe currently rumored is going to be something like I think it's going to be like icons throughout the years, which will be nice. Scare Zones are typically harder to guess because, well, they're more secretly about them, and they're originals usually. But yeah, we got this big old truss work here right in the entrance. I wonder if it's going to be like the entrance archway for it, or like the entrance of the Scare Zone. And then we got a lot of lights that have been installed all up top of the buildings. And then over here we do have two more truss works over here with actually lights installed to them, and there's actual cable work going down inside the truss work actually. So they've actually wired these. Yeah, we got truss here with some lighting, and then over there, we'll go over there in just a second. But first, let's pop into 5 and Dime, check out the merch for the announcement, which obviously, not surprised, was Stranger Things Season 5. Hopefully it'll be the last time we get Stranger Things here at the event. But yeah, here is now the carousel, how it's updated now with the Vecna and the Demogorgon dog, or Demogorgon on the front. And then you got this, now for the merch, you do have this mug with the Stranger Things. I feel like this design has been repeated before. Never go along the back. Being repeated, it's gonna be $20. I feel like this design has been repeated for like season 2, when they did season 2 at HHN here. And then for the shirt, we're gonna have this design here, which, I mean, it's not bad, but I feel like they went again, like, I'm pretty sure if you look up like HHN when they did season 2 or season 3, it was literally almost the same design and shirt. So I feel like it's pretty much repeated, even though it's probably gonna have some new signs. But especially just having the Mind Flayer, I mean, it was a part of season 5, but not that big. And the Never Go Alone for me feels a little bit cheap, because I mean, if it would just have had the Halloween Horror Nights, and then I feel like the Never Go Alone should have been gone on the back of the shirt, because the back of the shirt is just plain. It would have been nice if they just did like the design with the Halloween Horror Nights on the front, and then that Never Go Alone in white, put it on the back, because if you just look this shirt pretty quick, you're not gonna notice the Halloween Horror Nights on the front. So yeah, not a fan of the shirt for Stranger Things. And it's gonna be, if you're interested though, it's gonna be $30. And then for the acrylic stand, you're gonna have Vecna with the Demogorgon and the Demodog. So it's going to be 15, just like every other carousel piece. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of these either, but if we have the carousel, so gonna have to get it. But yeah, and if you're still behind, this will got the Sinners, Jack, and Oddfellow, and a lot of carousel that they've actually restocked. Plus, they still got all the Sinners merch, all of it, and the Jack and Oddfellow merch too. But yeah, overall, from my opinion, I am not a fan at all of the Stranger Things merch, at least for the shirt. Feels very cheap and repeated. I'm actually gonna search a picture of the shirt. Maybe it will appear in the video, right? So you guys are, as I'm talking about this, maybe it will appear at the top of the video. But if not, you guys can search it up. But I feel like I'm gonna put it in the video, so you guys might be seeing the design that I'm talking about in the video. But I feel like it's pretty much repeated from a few years back. Like I said, Stranger Things, I really do, I would have wished, which John Murdy did kind of confirm this, that this artwork will be on shirts, because somebody asked him on Twitter if we're gonna get more merch and like designs, and he did say that we are gonna get more merch designs than what we got, you know, right now, the basic merch. But yeah, over here we got another truss work with the lights also, and it's also wired down. Yeah, it's actually wired down. So this is interesting. And yeah, we're now gonna go over to Central Park, and we'll talk more about, you know, Scare Zone details and stuff like that for Central Park Scare Zone. So we actually do have a seasonal offering for the Odyssey, which is coming to theaters, I think now in July, second week of July, I think. And we do have the horse, but I mean, I feel like the Universal team that decided to put this, it was a nice idea, they just didn't position it the correct way. Because if you want a cool picture, it would have been nice if they just like shifted it and make the horse look this way, but facing it back, you can barely even see the horse. So for me, this is like kind of like an error or something. Like it doesn't look like it's facing, doesn't feel like it's facing the correct way. Maybe it was designed, I mean, it was designed to be this way, but for me at least, it doesn't look like it doesn't look right just facing that way. For me, it just doesn't feel or fit right. But over here, we actually do have the big truss work archway for the Scare Zone in here, this is different from what we usually get in the Scare Zone. But we do have more lights over there, and these aren't wired yet. The cables are just tied up, not wired yet, but we do have all these truss work on the sides with the lights. And are they wired, or? We got lights up top here, which we did have this truss work last time. I can't tell if it's wired because of, but yeah, but I do see some wires on the inside, so it's probably already wired down. But we do, interesting enough, that light is positioned like if there's gonna be like some set over here, because the way that light's they put lights at the bottom of the truss, which is different. I feel like, I don't know if they're trying to shine something up in the trees. Some set's gonna be up there, or something on the other side of like the fence. But there's lighting at the bottom. And then of course, then there's this truss, which I thought last time that it was just like, they were just still building it. but it turns out it's gonna be like this. So I don't wonder if it's gonna be like a set piece or something, because it's very different. And we do have a lot of wire on that side, on that like coming down from the building over there. But yeah, then we got this truss up here, which is also wired. And then you got this big old stage, kind of stage here. Yeah, we got a stage here. And then, which is this new. I wonder if we're gonna have like some set piece in the middle here. Then we got more lights up top, also wired down. And then over here, we got even more lights, also wired down. And then over here, we got another truss. This truss was here before, last time we were here, but now it's got lights and it's pointing this way, so I don't know if it's gonna be the food truck they're gonna put there. But also wired down from the lights coming down. So I feel like that's probably the most progress I've seen in a week, especially like I said, it's pretty early for HHN to start with their construction truss. They do usually start in June, but not that much truss work. We usually just see, I feel like 3 or 4 truss work appear around the park early, at the time we're at. But the time we're at and all the truss works that are appearing around the park, I feel like they're gonna speed up a lot of the construction progress for this year's HHN. So yeah, I won't be surprised if by early July we start getting some type of set piece, or at least bigger stages set up in the different scare zones, because they're going really fast. But yeah, we're now gonna walk over there to the Simpsons exit to get a better look at the sprung tent number 1, 2. Will kind of get us further glimpse at sprung tent number 3 and 4. And then yeah, we'll see. I believe there's still not any facade work happening yet, but I believe, like I said last time, they're just finishing final touches on the inside of the house. So, like I said, probably the facade for those houses will probably appear by early July. They'll start to build those up, which that is more on the usual side. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna check that, and then we'll cross over to next to the Fear Factor stage, where we got 2 truss work for the entrances for sprung tent number 3 and 4. So let's see over here. Any updates? I don't see any trucks, which is a good and bad sign. Good, because we can have a better view at the houses. Bad, because it does usually mean no work's happening. But we'll get a better view anyways. Let's get a nice view for sprung tents. Oh, they actually finished installing the fence. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but they did install some fence work, right in this area, kind of where the queue is typically for those houses. And then over here are literally no work happening at all. So I feel like now they're probably gonna wait, and then facades are gonna start happening. No open doors, no nothing. Truss works in the back for sprung tent number 3 and 4 don't have any lights up top installed yet. But yeah, we'll just wait and see. I feel like next step is gonna be facade work, and maybe 1 or 2 weeks from now. I do see a crane at the back of the sprung tent number 2. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So now over here for the entrance for sprung tent number 3 and 4, we do have truss works installed. No wiring or anything installed yet, just the truss work. But these will for sure be for our entrance for sprung tent number 3 and 4. Obviously, we're gonna have the TVs up top for Sinners, and Sinners gonna be on sprung tent number 3, so probably on this side. Then on the right side, it's debatable between an original or Hellraiser. And then we also got a truss work over here. Is that actual work for the stage? Yes, we have some set piece installed for the Fear Factor stage. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's two arches made of some kind of oh wait, there's a cute bird moment. It's so hot, the birds are just taking a little, oh my god, it's so cute. Just taking a little quick cool down break here in this little water puddle. He's just enjoying it. Okay, anyways, as I was saying, we do have work for the Fear Factor stage up top. We do have some 3 arches. I've been hearing more recently that like 90%, like 99% Fuel Girls are not returning, and we're gonna get something like for like Jack the Clown, Dr. Oddfellow, something in between. But we do have that rumored over here for the Fear Factor stage. Let's check over here and see if we can catch anything from this side of the stage. But yeah, we do have another truss work for the sign for the show. And then over here, we'll see. Over here, we'll see if we do have. Yes, we do have more of those. We actually do have a weird kind of truss up here at the top. Yeah, so let's zoom on in. So yeah, you guys can tell there's 2 arches right there, like black arches. And then at the top, there's kind of this half kind of quarter of a circle with some lighting installed. Nothing in the back of the stage yet, just like at the top, like on the ceiling of it. But I feel like, yeah, they're already starting with the work for the show. So I'm excited actually to see what comes here. I'm gonna be sad if the Fury Girls don't return, but at the same time, I'm excited to see what new show they will bring for this year. So for now here for the facade for whatever house we're having here at Fast and Furious, the rumors keep pointing at either HR Blood and Guts or Hellraiser. I'm hoping that it'll be HR Blood and Guts, that way we don't have that big of a like IP in this little corner, which this line is not the best. But hopefully we'll get HR Blood and Guts. If we get Hellraiser, I'm sure it's gonna be great, and they chose it for a wise decision. Now, shout out to Kevin. I did see his video like a few days ago. He did show a little like piece of wood was came up right there, but I think that was just probably work because I don't see the piece of wood right now currently. So as of today, June 21st, no facade work yet on basically any of the houses. Maybe we do have facades in the sound stages. No way of us telling if they do. So as of today, no facade work on either Fast and Furious or either of the 2 sprung tents, any of the 4 sprung tents at the back of the park. But now that we're already here, let's talk about. We do have more, actually more truss work. I keep getting seeing more truss. We do have a lot of truss work. Now all of these truss, now this truss work was here already, but we do have lights. All the lights are pointing to the tower over here. So I wonder what they're gonna shine on it, because we do have five lights pointing towards it. They haven't been wired yet though. But yeah, not wired yet though. That truss work not wired yet. Now over here for New York, we don't have any construction except for Fast and Furious. And though I do believe there's been a lot of lights installed here at the top of the buildings. If you guys notice, there's like 2, it's more here, 2, and then there's like 3 or 4 on this side. There's always a few lights, but there's more now because of HHN. But yeah, no truss work in the streets. Usually the scare zone we don't get truss work because all the lighting comes from the top of the buildings. But we do have lights at the top. So hopefully this means we'll get some sets now over here soon. Like I said, I am 90% sure July we'll get our first pieces of like actual theming to the scare zones, and the facade work will start. But yeah, this is like the last few stages of like truss work. But yeah, like I said, if you compare this area to past years, we never usually do have a truss anywhere here. So yeah. But a quick update from Finnegan's. Basically, Finnegan's is obviously it was shut down and it was under construction, but they've covered the whole building now, and that street is completely out of guests' reach. So I do wonder why. I obviously 90% sure it's because they got crazy work going on in there. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it is. So guys, we had a ride on Mommy, 15-minute wait, not that bad. Now we're here for the progress from inside the park for Fast and Furious. We do still have the same track installed. Nothing new, nothing different that I can tell. The only new thing that I kind of can tell is that we got these new posters with the different ride vehicles, which are actually the same posters from HHN, Universal Studios Hollywood. They just changed at the bottom. It says coming to Universal Orlando Resort. That's the only thing that they changed. Other than that, same exact posters. But yeah, I actually have heard that over in Hollywood. Oh. But as for Universal, maybe that could make sense. This could actually make sense. This could make sense for like an entrance for a house right there. But as I was saying, for Universal Studios Hollywood, they're Fast and Furious over there. It still hasn't opened, surprisingly. I feel like they're just waiting for it to. They're expecting like 4th of July opening. So yeah, but the walls have come down over there for them. Every like vlogger is going to a park like literally every day to see if it'll just casually soft open. Which I do kind of doubt it, but we'll see. You never know until it actually happens. But yeah, also for HHN Hollywood, they've also got some nice updates over there. If you want, just go ahead check out Five Fires on YouTube. He does good construction updates for HHN Hollywood. Now over here inside the park, we do actually have 2 supports for Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift. Now this usually is where we did enter last year for a few houses for HHN. So I do wonder if they're gonna try and finish this areas. That way we can keep like just walking, or if we'll enter through a different area. But yeah, if supports are installed, I highly doubt it that in the next few days we're gonna have some track installed pretty soon, and also we can get a better view of those gigantic supports over there, more closer to the City Walk area. But yeah, we got these 2 supports over here. So yeah, let's go outside the park and talk more about Fast and Furious and see the actual construction from outside of the park. So over here we do have kind of the whole turnaround has been installed for Fast and Furious. You can see, there we go. Turnaround has been completed like all this way over into like a brake run. I do see some 2 track pieces still on the ground. I don't know if they're gonna be for that or for the spike. Hopefully they'll finish the spike soon. They did put up those 3 supports, well 4 supports actually, in that area for probably like an inversion or turnaround. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for today's visit to Universal Orlando Resort. It was a great visit. We got to check out all the HHN merch, plus we also got to check out all the HHN updates and Fast and Furious construction updates. So yeah guys, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit that bell icon to upload a new video. Follow us on Instagram. So guys, remember guys, if you can get it, you can do it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.